For the next 7 days, I'm surviving only on celery juice. No food, no coffee, just this green stuff that I've never tried before. I've heard celery juice can detox your body, boost your energy, and even clear your skin. But will I survive a whole week of nothing else? And what's going to happen to my weight and fat percentage when I'm only drinking celery juice for 7 days? Well, let's find out. It's day 1 and the juicer arrived yesterday, so let's unbox it, set it up, and go out and buy my first bunch of celery sticks. Because what else would you want to do on a Sunday morning? Any words of wisdom or inspiration with me starting the juice fast today?
I'd say the best piece of wisdom is to treat it like a fun experiment rather than something super rigid. If you go in with curiosity and a bit of humor, it'll feel a lot more like an adventure. So enjoy the ride and you've got this.
So I just got back from Morrison's after buying my first 6 bunches of celery. I have never juiced before either, so it's not just about trying my first celery juice. It's the fact that I haven't juiced any vegetable, any fruits in my life. Celery is super low in calories. I think 1 stick equates to about 10 calories in total, and it's one of the lowest calorie vegetables that you can buy. Right, this is it, my first ever taste of celery juice. I'm going to assume this isn't going to taste great, but who knows. Yep, tastes like celery. I don't know what I was expecting, but I have heard that some of these juices are a little bit sweeter. This just tastes like juiced down celery sticks. I'm hoping that by day 3, this will taste a lot better, simply because I'm not eating anything else, not even something like coffee. If not, it might be a little bit brutal to get through this for the whole 7 days. Right, that is the first 500 milliliters of celery juice down. I'm gonna count that as breakfast and lunch, and then I'll have a separate lunch/dinner, the same portion later on today, and then the same thing day 1, day 2, and day 3. By the end of day 3, that's when I'll catch up with you next to see how I'm getting on with this. I just have a funny feeling in the next hour or 2, I'm gonna be darting to the toilet. But who knows? We just don't know because we've never done this before. I know I said that I was going to do the update after 3 days, but just quickly to say that I slept for 8 hours straight last night, and I thought it was honestly going to be the reverse. Actually, I woke up 1 minute before my alarm went off, which never happens. On today's menu, we have brunch served as 500 milliliters of celery juice. Then we'll follow on to dinner served as 500 milliliters of celery juice. So, exciting times. Guys, we have made it to day 3 of only consuming celery juice and water. And already I've got quite a lot to say about this juice cleanse. Let's start with the positives. And number 1 has to be that I've lost nearly 3 kilos in 3 days, which is insane. And it can delude you a little bit in thinking, amazing, I've lost nearly 1 kilo a day. Surely that's going to continue for the 7 days, right? But at least I have got that experience or knowledge from doing the 7-day fast that basically at least half of that is going to be water and glycogen loss. It's a positive and a negative at the same time, but I still think overall it's a positive because it just feels good jumping on the scales and seeing some of the weight coming off, and especially to that extent. It would be really interesting to see how this pans out throughout the rest of the week. Is it going to fully taper off? Maybe I don't lose anything else after this. Number 2. It doesn't actually taste that bad. Now this could have gone either way. I think overall it is net positive. I think the first time I tried it on day 1, it didn't taste great, but by day 3, I was very used to that kind of sharp taste that it does have. Number 3 is sleep, and this is probably the most surprising positive. I really thought only consuming celery juice for 3 days that I've done so far would completely mess up my sleep routine, and I just wouldn't be able to get to sleep because my stomach was empty. Very chuffed with the fact that sleep hasn't been affected negatively, and that's quite shocking to me considering how little calories I'm consuming each day. Number 4 is the fact that it's only taken me less than 5 minutes to both set up and clean the juicer. I think it was £120 for the Ninja juicer that I got from Amazon, but it's incredible how easy and simple it is to both put together each time and dismantle to put in the sink. My 5th and final positive of only drinking celery juice and water has to be that my stomach has been absolutely fine. I was honestly expecting some sort of stomach issue on day 1 and 2. That didn't happen at all. Aside from that, it's just that I haven't been craving any food. Like even yesterday, there was a big social gathering, tons of cakes and crisps, chips, pasta, everything you could imagine that would tempt me to stop this diet early. The celery juice was enough to keep me satiated and not feel the need to dive headfirst into those cakes. Now let's talk about the negatives. Number 1, headaches. I have experienced 3 to 4 10-minute headaches over the last 3 days. It is probably just my body reacting to the fact that I'm not putting enough into me. Number 2 is time. It has slowed down so much since the start of this juice cleanse. I've done the only meat for 30 days. I've done the only calories burnt for 30 days. I'll put the links up here in case you're interested. But those honestly felt faster than the last 3 days. Even at this point, like near enough halfway through, it still feels like a marathon to get to that finish line. Number 3, energy. It is probably one of the more major negatives that I've experienced since day 1, simply because you don't really have enough energy to maybe go to the gym or even go for a run. And it's not to say that you wouldn't be able to do it, it's that the risk is probably so high that you're going to pass out. Even as I'm talking right now to the camera, I can feel my words like slurring. Number 4, fitting in, and that is one thing that you won't be able to do whilst on this diet. There have been multiple meals where I've literally sat down with family and friends and they're all chewing on food. I am sat there with my ½ litre of green juice, and it's honestly like a double negative because I'm looking at their food and thinking how I would dream to be tasting what they're tasting, and they're looking at me drinking green juice feeling like, why am I eating this food? Shouldn't I be having green juice instead and being more healthy? Which is obviously not my intention. Just the thoughts that are going on in people's heads whilst that mix match is happening. But oh man, I cannot wait to get back to just normal eating. And last but not least, number 5 is peeing a lot. And it's, bound to happen. I'm drinking minimum 2 to 3 litres of fluids each day. What's up guys, and welcome to this finale video after getting through 7 days of only drinking celery juice. Or did I? That's the question, and that's what we're going to get into in this last part of the video. So let's start with a few more unfortunate negatives that I've experienced since day 1 of only drinking celery juice. And first off is the taste. Even by day 7 yesterday, it still tasted just as medicinal. And I know a lot of you would say that's the point, and something that tastes that bad probably is good for you. But I didn't really get used to it. And that's what I was a bit maybe disappointed by. If I stuck to something like carrot juice or added a little bit of lemon in there, then I think it would be a lot more tasty. and sustainable like long term. So what about the upsides of only having celery juice for the last 7 days? I think firstly it would be the cost. Like a bunch of celery sticks equates to about £1, and you only needed 2 bunches to make 500 to 600 milliliter juice, and I was having that twice a day. So that's only £4 a day, which is, maths, £28 in total. Maybe a lot of you would have to buy the Ninja or a different brand juicer on top of that, but I would say it's worth it. Secondly, I want to give a big shout out to that Ninja juicer. I've never used that brand before. That has just been an absolute breeze to use. This thing will crush those vegetables like there's no tomorrow. So I'll put the link in the description if you are interested in that particular juicer, because it is phenomenal. And another upside is my joints, and just throughout the week they've felt a lot less stiff. Now I do have a confession to make, and that is the fact that I didn't actually do the full 7 days of celery juice. I got up to day 6, I thought I was doing really well, and I just completely crashed. And I think it was the kind of short swim that I did the day before. Maybe it was the pressure on my waist or something whilst I was swimming, just made me feel so much more hungry. The next morning, it was just like stomach pains basically for about 3 or 4 hours. And I didn't want to go completely off the rails, so I stuck to the 300 calories in total per day for celery juice, and then I only had an extra 300 calories for day 6 and day 7. And that was, very bland, boring food like a small pack of chicken combined with a small pack of crackers. Nothing really to shout about and kind of lose track completely of the celery juice cleanse, but I just wanted to be honest with you guys and make sure that you can still lose all that weight, and during day 6 and day 7 you can have a couple of those treats, I guess, something to chew on. So let's talk about weight loss first. I started at 94.4 kilos. This morning during my final weigh-in it came in as 89.8 kilos, which is 4.6 kilos lost. So I don't think that's that bad at all. I think this one's probably more designed for people that want to reset their digestive system and their body as a whole, not necessarily just lose the weight. And fat percentage loss hasn't been anything incredible, but there has been some loss at least, and that was 2% in total. So basically from 30% down to about 28. This has been definitely the most extreme one that I've done so far, and I'm so glad that it's done and dusted. I will see you next week, and thanks so much for watching. Take me to you.